Good, happy Sunday morning, August 11, 2019. And welcome to this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. Let's begin. First up, Bill Weld campaigns in New Hampshire days before President Trump is set to visit. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
Candia Springs is New England's newest adventure park, featuring an aerial challenge course, all-new guided zipline tour, water park, water challenge course, and off-roading. One location for one low price. Minutes from Manchester and the Seacoast. Visit CandiaSprings.com.
Former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld hopes to grow his base as he campaigned Saturday at Hudson Old Home Day.
My strategy is not a secret. It's to enlarge the electorate, not to shrink it.
Weld is in the Granite State just days ahead of a visit by the man he's challenging for the 2020 Republican nomination. For the first time in more than a year, President Donald Trump returns to New Hampshire Thursday night for a rally at the SNHU Arena.
I do know that his plan at the beginning was just to do a couple rallies at the very end, right before the primary. Maybe he sees something in the polling that makes him think he should pay attention. That's sort of my feeling and my hope.
In March of 2018, the president was in the state to lay out a plan to fight the opioid crisis. But his last campaign stop was the night before the 2016 general election at the same arena in Manchester.
New Hampshire's a purple state. We are a battleground. He narrowly lost to Hillary Clinton by just a few thousand votes in 2016. Depending on how the states break down, our 4 electoral votes could be wildly important in 2020.
Political analyst Scott Spradling says the president will likely try to appeal to independent voters.
I expect on Thursday a major show. I think the campaign is pushing for a sold-out rally, an overflow crowd outside, and something that looks like a massive major spectacle. Democrats and those who are hoping to beat him in 2020 are also marking this date on the calendar. So this could be quite the political circus outside the Snoo Center.
The Trump campaign has been texting Granite Staters saying, quote, "I want you to come to my huge rally in Manchester, New Hampshire, along with a link to register for tickets. The arena can hold more than 10,000 people.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sununu vetoes 3 gun bills, citing New Hampshire's culture of responsible gun ownership, individual freedom. Governor says bill would not solve national issue or prevent violence by evil people. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
The largest zipline and off-road adventure destination in New England, along with great lodging, restaurants, and so much more in Lincoln Woodstock. Base camp at the beautiful White Mountains. Alpine Adventures, 300 acres of awesome. Visit alpinezipline.com.
The governor's vetoes are drawing both praise and criticism, especially with renewed focus on gun control after recent mass shootings across the country. The bills would have expanded background checks to all commercial sales, added a 3-day waiting period between the purchase and transfer of a firearm, and created gun-free school zones in New Hampshire. The governor did not do interviews, but released a statement saying New Hampshire is one of the safest states in the nation, and we have a long and proud tradition of responsible firearms stewardship. He cited school security investments, efforts to foster diversity, and added these 3 bills would not solve our national issues, nor would they prevent evil individuals from doing harm, but they would further restrict the constitutional rights of law-abiding New Hampshire citizens.
They all infringe upon property rights or right to due process, rights to keep and bear arms of the people of New Hampshire, and with no real foreseeable, tangible result. I mean, they don't really protect anybody.
But State House Democrats say the bills would have helped save lives.
It's just a terrible shame that the governor couldn't see fit to sign any of these bills, particularly background checks that 90% of Americans support.
And the Senate president also says she hopes there's an opportunity soon to override those vetoes. Live at the State House tonight in Concord, Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, that was Jean Mackin reporting. Sorry about that. That was not Adam Sexton reporting. Sununu vetoes bill creating independent commission to draw legislative council district bonders. Supporters said lawmaker legislation would take partisan policy out of sometimes constitution process. Governor Chris Sununu on Friday vetoed legislation that would create an independent commission to redraw the line of states' legislative and executive council districts, saying the job is better left in the hands of elected officials. House Bill 706 set up a detailed multi-step process to select 15 commissioners in what was described as a non-political way. It also laid out a precise process for the commission to follow to redraw the district lines beginning next year. Gabbard calls for defense spending cuts, redirecting funds to address issues on home front. Democrat presidential candidates answer questions from voters. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
In conversation with the candidate, Tulsi Gabbard told New Hampshire voters the first death of a fellow soldier in her unit in Iraq transformed her perspective on politics.
Taking turns saluting his empty boots, his rifle and dog tags, and his helmet, saying our last goodbye. Going through these experiences changed everything for me in my life.
As a veteran, Gabbard wants to reshape American foreign policy to avoid conflict. She points to the 2018 false alarm missile alert in Hawaii as a wake-up call.
I'm curious if you could explain why it is that you support a no first use policy.
This is the main catalyst for my deciding to run for president. Going through what we went through in Hawaii last year and recognizing we need strong leadership that will walk us away from the brink of nuclear disaster, work to end this new Cold War, and maximize the diplomatic tools that we have available to accomplish that.
Gabbard is pushing for defense spending cuts and redirecting funds to address issues on the home front.
I know this opioid epidemic, for example, is ravaging New Hampshire. It's ravaging so many people across this country. Yet we lack the kind of treatment, facilities, and opportunities for those who are victims of this epidemic. Told once again, sorry, there's just not enough money.
A number of voters left this forum impressed, but some wonder how Gabbard will break through in such a crowded 2020 Democratic field.
I think she's got a great career ahead of her. But I think right now, I don't necessarily know how she will mesh.
Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we want to hear from you. What do you think about Tulsi Gabbard? And do you think she will have it to win the election? Comment below and let us know. Sununu, citing booming state economy, vetoes bill to hike hourly minimum wage to $10 to $12. Governor says wage boost would lead to lost job, cut hours, less money in pockets. New Hampshire is likely to remain among only a handful of states with no minimum wage in default to the federal minimum of $7.25 an hour after Governor Sununu, citing the state booming economy on Friday, vetoed a bill that would have boosted the wage twice over the next 2.5 years. Senate Bill 10 called for a boost in the state's minimum wage to $10 an hour on January 1st, 2020, and then to $12 an hour beginning on January 1st, 2022. But Sununu vetoed that bill. 6 Democrat presidential candidates say Walmart should stop selling guns. A week after 2 mass shootings in Texas and Ohio, a growing number of Democrat presidential candidates are calling on Walmart, one of the country's leading sellers of firearms, to stop selling guns. And that does it for this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. I hope you all enjoyed this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. And I'll see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. And I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead of you, everyone. And have a great week. And I'll see you back here later on today with more news coverage and reports. Goodbye, everyone.